Going on, gang? This is the 20 horse Unen, precariously hanging. I didn't realize the strap did that, but I don't think it's going anywhere. Sold and going to Michigan. So we need a dry weight on it, but I'm gonna real quick just do a heavy weight with all the oil and everything in it. We've got our scales right here. We'll just move the scales and everything under. We'll get it positioned right so we can still see what the weight is. I think if I let that down, we'll be looking at it upside down, but that'll be okay. Just let her down. Move the scales accordingly. Just trying to get a semi-flat surface for that. We got slack. There we go. 123 pounds. So now we know 123 pounds. We'll bring it back up. We had something else to weigh, a couple more something else's. Fastenal finally this week opened up their logistics shipping, and we'll be able to ship through Fastenal now. So I'm gonna mount you guys right there. We'll move that out of the way. I'll just pull the scale forward. And we need to do another weight. The pallet's gonna have 3 things on it. I still have to drain all the oil out of this. What we're weighing are a couple of Sears tires in really nice shape. Very, very minimal dry checking. And these are the 23 9.5 12s. So you won't be able to see it, but I'm just going to set the tire on there. Alright, we're going to round it up to 29 pounds. Let's see how much difference there is between the two, if any. Well, if I don't round, we're at 29.5 and 30.5. So a pound difference. This one weighs a pound more. But there we go. We got 60 pounds there. And I'll have to check the tape because I've already forgotten what the Unen weighs, but that's half the reason that I'm doing this on camera, so that your friend of mine, Mike, that's going to be getting this, will have an idea what the weight is. They kind of estimated it. So what was it, 132 pounds was it, or something like that? But anyway, we'll get the pallet ready, get everything strapped down after I get the oil and the oil filter out of the Unen. But what do you guys want to work on today? You want to pull Trader out and pull that twin out? Or do we want to grab the B-12 and start wrenching on it? What do you think? Let's go ahead and wrench on the B-12. I may get lucky. I got a couple of later model Sovereign type wheels here. No, they're pretty dry checked. I don't think we're going to have any luck getting near into those. But anyway, these 2 tires here and those 2 are for Biggie Rat. And then these 2, the tires off the GT 19.9, these are 8.5 inch wide rims instead of the standard 7.5. So the wheels on this B10 are going to be, wheels and tires are coming off, but the I'm going to swap these tires over to the 8.5 inch rims, because these are 23 10.5 12s, and I would rather have that slightly wider, beefier look. And looking around, well, look, I've got another pair, another pair. That side, it's got a little bit of a blowout there. Let's look at this one. That side looks Look at this side. That side looks pretty good. Maybe we'll put this one on the side, if it'll hold air. We'll put this one on the side of the B-12 that the tire goes down on. That is, like I say, if this one holds air. And if it's just the bead on that one up there, then we'll check it. But this back one doesn't hold air, and it's covered up. But this front one also doesn't hold air. So we'll see if it's the bead on that. It might be a simple fix. But we're going to yank the engine and get the mouse nest out. And can you guys see that sort of generator belt? Kind of gives you an idea of just how unmolested this thing is, huh? And I've got tank straps, side covers, key switch, right hand lift, hydros into there, air filter, an air filter housing is right here, but it's got the wrong air filter, which is okay. I've got another one. So anyway, babbling for 7 minutes. What do you say we get started on the B-12? I was sitting here getting ready to pull things apart. I mean, the C-pan wasn't even bolted down, so that doesn't count. And that's gonna need some oil. I noticed a little something that's actually kind of cool. I don't know if you can see in there, but it's got the factory hydro pulley already installed. Sweet. So I don't have to worry about that part. I'm gonna finish unbolting everything and get it out. We'll get it on the engine stand and pull that cover off, see how big of a nest we've got together. You know, everybody likes this part. So I have one bolt that broke off down here. All the rest of them are good to go. So let's see what happens here. Ready? Let me open these. There we go. It doesn't want to let go. It's that one bolt over here. That one pulled up and through. That one pulled up, and this one's out. It's this one right here that does not want to let go. So instead of stressing it and breaking an ear off, take that off. We'll clean around that, and we'll put a impact on that, see if we can't get it to spin. There's just so much stuff packed in here. It's packed everywhere, but I'll tell you, it doesn't look like this tractor is used a whole lot. It really doesn't. I mean, most of this stuff here, that's mouse nest stuff. That's pine needles, and that's just mouse nest stuff. Okay. Get an extension here. I'm working on it. I'm doing as fast as I can. Where's it at? Do you see it? I don't see it either. We're going to attempt to break that loose. I don't know how lucky or how successful we'll be here. Let's see, can I go? I don't need the wobble joint, that's good. This bolt here, the one that I'm messing with, here's the other end of it. It just snapped right off, so thank you, mice. There we go. That kapling you just heard is the axle stop. Keeps the axle from pivoting too much. Now it ought to pull out of there. Up we go. Yep, it's a going. Hey, there's one bolt that you cannot get to, and that is the one on the left hand side as you're sitting on the tractor on the rear towards the blower housing. That right there wedges down into the block so you don't have to put a wrench on the end of it. See, this one's a little bit chewed up, but the bolt came right off. The nut came right off. Okay, now we have the oil fill to clear over here. We just need a little bit more finagling. There we go. Yeah, that worked. Okay. Upwards and onwards. And then out. There we go. And everything is disconnected, by the way. All the wires and all that. Alright, where do you guys want to go with it? Gotta get the workbench out, right? Engine test stamp to the rescue. These older Benchmade folding, or Black & Decker folding tables are just awesome. So come along for the ride. Here we go, we're going up. This is an odd place for me to be pulling an engine, to tell you the truth. I usually pull them with the tractor facing the other way. Can you guys see down past the motor or the engine to all the crap down there? I don't know if you can or not. See it all? Just bunch of mouse nest. All right, back it up. My guess is the blower housing's not going to be in the best of shape. We'll see what kind of shape it's in, and then we will. Oh, hang on. Can't lose that. Oh, the pulley, the hydro pulley stayed on there. That surprises me. I'm just putting it somewhere good and safe. All right. Here we go. Blacked them out. I gotta get that out of there. Working on that one sheared bolt right there. break that tab off of the block. Success on the stand with you. Oh, cooperate, please. Sometimes when this thing has a high load on it, the engine hoist, or the patient hoist rather, it doesn't like to cooperate too well. Put the table in. Let's go around this way instead. Don't get dizzy. Back it up a little. Take that off. And we're going to go that way. Down we go. Alright, all you have to do is just take one bolt out and use a 5/16 National Course eyelet that's really long. Here's the head bolt. You want to make sure that you go nice and deep down into the block so that when you pick it up you're not going to pull threads or anything like that. So I guess next step is let me go ahead and get the bolts out and get ready to pull that blower housing off, see what kind of a mess we've got there. Stay tuned. Well, this is going to be fun to get off. It's all rusted up there. I gotta get that off before I take the flywheel off. So I'm gonna work on that for a little bit. Boy, the things I do for you guys. I just had one fail right after the other. First one was just to keep it nice and quiet even with the AC on. It has a little bird chirp that it likes to do. It just squeaks and squeals. So I usually just come up and I just bump it to quiet it down. Well, I bumped it and promptly knocked it out of its hole. I had to go out and put it back in. Now I've got to restuff the insulation, but if it squeaks, you guys are just gonna have to handle the rattle. So sorry. That's annoying. Well, I am sorry about that. And then on my way back in the shop, I broke the pin on my watch band. So, yeah, the things I do for you guys. Trying to quiet that thing down and then losing my watch pin. But the whole reason initially, boy, that's really annoying, that I wanted to pop the camera on was to say I do not know how I went so long. Sometimes you just have those tools that you don't know how you did without for so long. Well, I didn't do without. I just simply broke the heads of the screws off into the aluminum flywheels. But now with this Impacta, and it's JIS, so it fits the Phillips screwdrivers actually better than a Phillips driver. Just give it a little whack as you're pushing in and turning, and it will slowly turn that screw. So I've already loosened this one, and this one loosened up. That one's being a little stubborn, but just a few more whacks on it and hopefully it'll that one came loose. Let's try that one. And the next tool in line after that I don't know how I lived without for so long, and it's been such a long time I do not remember the subscriber, but I had a subscriber say, why don't you get an impact driver? Well, then I finally did. Now I've got 4 of the silly things. Let's see if we can get it out with that. Just nice, slow, and easy on the trigger. There we go. So I used the impact screwdriver first, and then the impact driver, and all this has to come off. Whoop, get in there. Because that little screen is covering up those two bolts, and I have to have those two bolts out to get this flywheel off, or the booster fan off. So that's what that was all about. Let me clean around here, get these bolts out, try to get it to spin a little, see if we can't get that thing off. Hang on. Well, it didn't take very long. Took the bolts out, sprayed everything down real good, and took a soft hammer and tapped here just a couple times, and it just spun right loose. A good bit of rust on the back side of it, but I'm alright with that. We'll nix that. That's the first time this thing's been off. How shiny that is up there. Crazy. Crazy, crazy. Okay. Anybody know what time it is? My poor watch. Now, something else I want to talk to you guys about was a little bit about the Cub Cadet. I had suspicions that my running problem was my fuel pump. So I grabbed a new one and I threw it on there, and sure enough that took care of it. But what actually happened to this one? That's the vacuum port. When I went to pull the vacuum line itself off of that, it snapped the rest of the way. But it had been cracked for a long time, pulling atmospheric air instead of pumping like it should have. So I'm glad that the fitting broke off in the fuel line, because had it not, I probably wouldn't have known, and I'd probably still been fighting it. But that was on the Cub Cadet, and even though it's still leaking just a tiny little bit out of the hydro, I am using it. Mowed with it some yesterday, and I'll mow with it some more today. Let's get the cover off. See what kind of yummy goodness we've got here. Oh yeah, you want to see? Are you sure you want to see it? At least the bottom of it is not all blown out. And I've had worse mouse nests. That's not too bad. If we look at the bottom, it's got a little bit of surface rust on it, but it's not all blown out, so we're still going to have our cooling ability. But see how that packs everything in there like that? That makes your life kind of miserable if you don't know it's in there. And this thing still ran, it's still sparking. So I am not going to interrupt or interfere with this engine at all, other than to clean all this out, give it a good oil change, slap it back together. I'll clean the base of the tractor where the engine goes. I'll clean all that out, and we'll stuff her back in there. That's crazy, isn't it? Yep, mice will get everywhere, I guarantee it. Alright, well, that's as far as I'm going to go on this one. We have a lot more to do to get the B-12 in usable condition. We'll get the engine all buttoned up, get it back in there, get it all bolted down with the pulley for the hydro lift, and get some decent tires on it, and we'll use it for a little while. I don't remember if I mentioned or not, the only thing that was wrong with that tire that was losing air was just a bad valve stem. I think I did mention it, but at any rate, we're just gonna clean it out and use it. That's what we're gonna do. We're not gonna repaint anything, we're not gonna restore it, we're not gonna do anything like that. The dash has to come completely out, and I know that right now I am almost there. I'm gonna leave the strong arm lift on for a little while, and then maybe as a winter project we'll throw the hydro in, because putting the rock shaft in, this rock shaft is really stiff. It's going to be hard to get out, and I'm kind of in a, not really a hurry, but I'm like in between scheduled work, so I want to get this up and running, moving under its own power, and ready to take on the tasks that the Squire has been taking on. So that doesn't mean the Squire's going anywhere. Don't worry, little buddy. There you go. Blasted mice. Guys, do me a favor, only 90% of the viewers are not subscribered. Yeah, that's worth a subscription right there. 90% of you guys are not subscribed that watch my videos. Please, it doesn't cost anything, it doesn't hurt, it helps me out immensely. And you don't have to do anything except hit that little red subscribe button. And then bell notifications. If you don't want notifications, hit none. Or if you want to get notified when I post a video, hit all. And please hit that thumbs up or thumbs down button, whatever you thought about this video, and leave a comment. We'll see you guys on the next one. Later. I'm out of here.